Hello, everybody. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be kicking this off today. My name is Morgan McGee. I am the Superstar Director for this group of amazing people. And if you're in here, we are very excited you're here. We are very excited you're interested in being a part of our family. And if you do join, you will be getting with the person who added you to this group, but I will be your superstar director, meaning the leader of all the leaders and consultants in this group. So the person that you join with will be your sponsor, they will be your direct leader, and then I will be your upline leader, if that makes sense. So we're really glad you're here. In our community, we really strive to help each other as much as possible. We love to inspire one another. We love to share all of our tips and things that are working for us. We all really work together to be successful and help each other every chance we get. If I keep looking down, it's because my 10-month-old is asleep and I have her on my camera, so I'm keeping an eye on her. I'm really hoping that she sleeps through this because she's been kind of hit and miss with her naps lately. So when you hop on, say hello. I am doing this on my desktop, so I don't do this a whole lot. So I don't know if the comments are going to work. I'm hoping they will. So if you can comment if you're here and let me know. That way I can see if comments are going to work. Yay, Kendall. Hey. Okay, so they're going to work. Awesome. Okay, so I only have 30 minutes, and who knows, I may have less than that if she decides to wake up, but y'all, I have stories upon stories. Like, our story is wild, and I'm trying to even figure out where to start, what to leave out, because it is literally crazy. But Scentsy has been so good to us, and Scentsy is the reason that we are where we're at, and the reason we have everything we have, and the reason we have not just the material items we have, but the reason we have the flexibility we have to be present with our kids and to live our lives around, or to live our lives around work, to work our jobs around our lives instead of what most people have, which is where you're working to survive, you're missing out on things in life because of work. And we really didn't want that for ourselves and for our children, and so that's why we built what we built. I joined Scentsy in 2014, so this is my 10th year doing Scentsy, which blows my mind. Like, how have we been married for 11 years, and how have I been a Scentsy consultant for 10 of those? Like, blows my mind. Hey, Gabriella and Tiffany. Hey, y'all. Okay. If you're here, say hello so that I know you're here. But let me start with 2014 when I joined. So we were newlyweds. We were living in Colorado Springs. I'm actually from Alabama. We're both from Alabama, but my husband was in the Army. He was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado Springs. And so as soon as I graduated college to be a dental hygienist in 2013, I moved to Colorado to be with him. We got married that same year. So we were, like I said, newlyweds. We were, struggling paycheck to paycheck. The Army, yes, he was an E5. He was a sergeant, but that did not make very good money. I mean, like, it made decent money for us at the time, but once I started being a dental hygienist, I was working and making $35 an hour, which was great, and which seems like a lot of money, but looking back now, what we're making now, I'm like, how? Like, that wasn't a lot. And it's hard to survive on something like that nowadays. So yes, you will be able to go back and watch all of these videos. They will be recorded, and this is going to go on my YouTube channel too. Some of the other people who are going to share their stories here may also upload to their YouTube channels, but this will be here to for you to watch later and for you to share out with whoever you want to share with. So okay, So we were newlyweds. My husband was in the Army. I finally got a job as a dental hygienist. I was working, um, I was making $35 an hour, and we still didn't have any wiggle room in our budget. Like, we, um, we didn't have extra money to do vacations. We didn't have the ability to do vacations because my husband didn't have that kind of flexibility with his job being in the Army. We did good to even be able to go home for Christmas at times, and one year we couldn't even go home for Christmas. So if you're military, and there's no planning, and there's, it's just, off time is kind of non-existent with the Army. But we didn't have the financial ability to really have any hobbies. We didn't have the time freedom to have any hobbies, to do any vacationing, anything like that. We didn't have kids at the time. We were newlyweds. We were married for 4 years before we had our first kid. And my husband decided after 6 years that it was time to be done with the Army. And I had recently joined Scentsy. I really just... So I tried out a lot of different things for extra income, or like, things that I could do for myself outside of work and also make money doing it. I tried dog sitting because I love dogs, and we have a German Shepherd in a lab. I tried, and we had multiple dogs at the time, so it was like the fun house to dog sit at. But I tried dog sitting, I tried making cakes, and I tried an Etsy shop where I did I made wreaths, and I made painted signs, and just, fun little crafty things. All these things I tried, and while I enjoyed them, they weren't bringing me tons of joy, and it was just a little bit of extra income. It wasn't much at all. It was just enough to buy a couple of things like decorations for the house, or maybe get my nails done, or take my husband out to eat on a date, because we couldn't go do hibachi whenever we wanted to. It was a once a month thing, if that, which is wild to think back on. We were on a very, very strict budget with groceries. It was we went to the grocery store, we had our phone calculator pulled up, we had our budget, and we added it up on the calculator as we were putting the food in. We were having to buy as much processed food as possible, and unhealthy foods, and nothing fresh. It was a struggle. And we are just not the type of people that are okay with that. We wanted more for our life. We wanted to not have to tell our children no in the future, and we wanted to be able to really prioritize our health, our kids' health, our mental health, our physical health, all those things that truly matter in life. And we really didn't want to continue working away our lives, living paycheck to paycheck, and working for someone else doing all that, and sacrificing time with our kids when we decided to have kids. So since he fell into my lap accidentally, we were already using candles and Walmart warmers and wax in our house because we had dogs, and it would stink if we didn't have something that smelled good in there. So the warmers I was not happy with, from the off-brand warmers that I was using, because they were too hot. They would basically burn your hand off if you touched them to move it or something. I was concerned about in the future when we had kids, them spilling the wax on them, burning themselves on the warmers, that kind of stuff. Well, since he fell into my lap, and I learned that the warmers were much more safe, the wax was much more safe. It was safe for my dogs, it was safe for my kids when I decided to have kids in the future. And then the consultant that I found, she gave me samples of wax and washer whiffs, and I just completely fell in love with the products. And I was like, okay, I'm going to become a consultant because I want a discount on this stuff. I want to get it for free and half off. I want to get commission paid back on it. And, if I can share it with friends and family and, start to make some extra income, then why not? So at that point, that was all I joined for. And I was as I started sharing how much I loved Scentsy with my friends and family, nobody knew what Scentsy was. And keep in mind, I lived 24 hours from home, so I was doing everything online, and there was 3 consultants just in my neighborhood. So I was kind of afraid that it would be oversaturated, or there would be too many consultants near me, because it was a military town and a lot of military wives sold Scentsy. So It didn't affect me at all. I realized that I know different people than they know, and I was working my business harder than they were. And it's really all about who you get to know and how you work your business and how many people you talk to and share this with. So, a few months later, I heard my upline talking about how she made a full-time income with this business, and she had 2 kids, and her husband was in the army, but she was supporting them. And I was like, hold up, that's possible? Because I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about direct sales. I didn't know anything about network marketing. Social media was not big back then either. We didn't even have live video back then. We didn't have, like, it was so different. Instagram wasn't like a social selling thing like it is now. It was way, way, way different. So it was a lot more in person, and then like online was a lot more just like posting things. It wasn't like as easy as it is now to share things and sell things. Like, it's tremendously easier now. So, um, none of that, none of that affected me. Nobody around me affected me. I learned really quick that if I worked my business hard and consistently and I found joy in it, then I could share that with people and make money for it. Well, when I started hearing her talking about her income, and it was a 6-figure income, I was like, okay, I would be insane, first of all, not to take advantage of this opportunity and work it. So I did. That's what I did. And my husband decided to get out of the Army after 6 years. It was just a whole ordeal. So we moved back home to Alabama. Well, in the midst of him getting out, he started a trucking company from scratch. We had no idea what we were doing. No freaking clue. So if you've ever been in trucking or around trucking, you know what a struggle it can be financially and how much overhead you have. And if you don't do it right, it ain't gonna be good. So my business was the reason he was able to start his trucking company. Can somebody drop the income disclosure here, because I'm gonna start talking about income and all that, and we need an income disclosure. So if you're a consultant here, can you please drop an income disclosure? So let me get back on track. My brain is, if it ever gets off track, it's a struggle. Where was I at? He decided to get out of the Army. He started a trucking company. Okay, so we moved back to Alabama at that time. Well, we still had our house in Colorado that we owned. We were renting it out. Basically, finances got rough. It would have made no sense for me to go back to work as a dental hygienist, because it had been about 8 months that I'd been with Scentsy, and soon after that, a couple months after that, I matched my dental hygienist income with Scentsy, because I had started to really work this business and share it with others, and I was really starting to see the financial gain from that. And if I would have gone back to work, I would have it would have took away from my business, because I wouldn't have been able to work it the same. I would have, like, I was on the right track. So it just didn't make sense for us. And I would have had to pay a lot of money to transfer my license from one state to the next. I would have took a huge pay cut, like from $35 an hour to like $18 an hour. And I would have been having to drive a really long way to work. And then my husband was going to be on the road trucking, so I really wanted to just be able to go with him and take our dogs with us. So that's what we did. We traveled the country a lot together. We took our dogs with us, and I was able to work on the road, and that was a really cool experience, to be able to take my business with me and do things on the road, and it was really cool. And so but soon after that, we realized, I think my daughter's waking up. She's moving, but I'm not sure if I don't think she's awake. Okay. So that was the first move. Then we moved again and again and again. We went through a lot. We went through a lot of financial struggle because of that trucking company and not being set up for success with that and not really knowing what we were doing. That's one thing that me and my husband really take pride in, is everything we've learned along the way over the years as business owners, things that weren't taught to us. And our failures, we have really turned around and our obstacles, we have really turned around into learning experiences that we have taken with us, and we can now teach people like you guys who are new business owners, or our kids in the future, things that we can teach them that we were never taught. And so, yeah, we made a lot of mistakes. We screwed up a lot, but a lot of things were not within our control. And eventually, my husband had to shut down his trucking company, and we had to file bankruptcy. And we lost everything. We lost our vehicles, we lost our house, we lost our motorcycles, everything we had worked for. We lost it all, and we had to completely start over. So, the whole rebuilding our credit thing, and she is awake. Let me go grab her. You get to meet Scarlett. Somebody has not been taking her full naps lately. She has only been napping for like 45 minutes if we're lucky. So it is what it is, and that's the beauty of what I do. I get to be home with her. We'll get to the kids later. I haven't even got to the kids like in the story yet. But we struggled so much, and really Scentsy was the reason why we got through every single bit of it. It kept us afloat. At times, it kept food on the table for us. And I don't know what we would have done if we would have had kids at that time, because it was a freaking struggle. So by this time, when he quit his trucking company and he went back to like a normal job doing truck driving for different companies, and he was just, it was not for him. Like, we realized so quickly when I started Scentsy that this was our opportunity for me to be my own boss, because I don't like answering to someone else, and I like to do my own thing, and I like to have my flexibility, and I don't want to work my life away for someone else. She loves the Scentsy Buddy. Loves it. She has so many, but she loves this one. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. So beautiful. So we struggled a lot. But Scentsy kept us afloat, and it allowed us to, it led us into being able for him to start another business a few years later. And he is now a contractor, and he installs doors. He installs doors for all of the Lowe's stores in our area here in Huntsville, Alabama. And then before that, he was contracted with Home Depot and had all of the Home Depot stores. So that has been a blessing for us. Between the time he quit his trucking company and started the other one, we had our first son, and he is now almost 7. And we have moved 8 times between our first home and now, and we finally we had her last year, and we finally bought this house. Actually, I was able to buy us this house by myself, solely on my Scentsy income. Super, super nice home we have now in an area that we really wanted to be in for the school systems and the sports that we really wanted my son to be in. And so we pulled out of that bankruptcy. We worked so hard to thank God for Scentsy, because it led us to where we are now. We had to completely start over. And I mean, we were only 23 when he got out of the Army, and we ended up having to file bankruptcy. Like, we were so young trying to own such a big company, and he had multiple drivers, and it was like the drivers had wrecks and all this stuff, and the insurance went up so much that it was not possible to pay it. Like, it was so wild. But I'm so thankful for the job he has now and the job I have now, because I was able to be home with my son from the time he was born and raise him how I wanted to raise him, and I never missed a moment with him. And now still I never miss a moment with him. I can take him to school and pick him up every single day. I don't have to put him on the bus. I'm very big about that. I'm very big about being present and putting my kids before work. And I have the ability to do that now, and I'm so thankful for that. Um, and my husband's the same way. He's very flexible. Being a business owner and the kind of business he has, now he is able to set his own schedule. We can go to like lunches with my son during the day, or class parties and field trips, and all the things. And my son plays baseball and he plays basketball, and my husband can be at every practice. He can help coach. He can be at every game. He can go out in the yard and practice with him. And are you learning? Are you learning? But the being present and having the flexibility to live, to work around how our life is, that is what is most important to me. And now I'm able to prioritize our health. I'm able to prioritize my health. I can get a workout in every day. I can prioritize making our food at home and not eating out and not eating fast food. And that's hard to do when you have kids in sports and in school. And she's exclusively breastfed, so she's a lot of work too. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, being home with her and having been at home with my son and being able to raise my babies how I want them to be raised. So I want to encourage you, if you want more for your life, and you want more financially, and you want more freedom, and you want more flexibility and time with your husband or your kids, or if you don't have kids yet and you just want to build a better future than what you're on track for, like we did. We took that 4 years, 3 years after I joined Scentsy, we took that 3 years and we were like, we're going to make something better happen for our future before we have kids. And so that was when we felt like we were ready, was once we had kind of built that a little bit, and we're feeling really good about that. But I will never go back to a 9 to 5 as far as I'm concerned, and we love the business owner life, and we love the flexibility. And no matter what you want to join Scentsy for, whether it is a little bit extra income, whether it's just a discount, do it. There shouldn't be anything holding you back. If you are scared, you have nothing to lose, first of all. You don't even have to pay to join. There's options to earn your starter kit. We have the join special this month also, where you can earn $300 in free product and $100 cash, which is really cool, because then you can do whatever you want with that $300 in product. You can keep it for your personal use. You can sell it for more cash. Whatever you want to do. You do you, boo. Do you want to go play? I want to go play, baby. Where's your basket? I'm going to lock you in because you'll be crawling all over the house. Yeah, you like to escape. So, I have like 6 minutes, so I want you guys to ask questions. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm trying to think if I left anything off. Like, if I would have told my full story and like all the details, y'all would be here all day. Our life has been wild. It has been a crazy ride with 8 moves and 2 kids, and it's just been really crazy. So I'm very thankful to be in this house. And, it's a beautiful home, and we love having our own place again. It took us 10 years to get here and to start over. But more than anything, I just love having a place for our kids that is ours, finally, and to not be renting anymore, and to finally have an investment. This home is an investment for us. And just to have a place for our kids that is ours, and a place to make memories, and a place that is secure, that we don't have to worry about having to move out of, being forced out of. I appreciate y'all being here and listening. I think, who's next? Kendall, are you next? I think you're next. Kendall is amazing. She is such an inspiration. Are you next? I'm trying to look up. Yes, Kendall is next. So y'all are gonna hear from her next, and I'm so excited. Um, I want to encourage you, like I said, no matter why you want to join, I want to encourage you to believe in yourself, first of all, and understand that you're worthy and you are more than capable, and you will have every bit of support you can ever imagine, and help and guidance and resources and tools and everything, systems you need for your business when you join our family. We would absolutely love to have you. Um, if my story helped you or resonated with you, please let me know. I would love to know. Um, I hope it did, and I hope it inspired you a little bit to just know that there's more out there, and life doesn't have to be a struggle, and it doesn't have to be a paycheck to paycheck struggle, and you don't have to miss everything. You only live one life, and you've got to be present in the moments every chance you can, and that's really what we have built, and I'm very grateful for that. So, and you can do that too. But all right, well, I'm gonna hop off here and let Kendall go ahead and get started whenever she's ready, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.